Once we understand where the edge is coming from, the next question is really how that translates into practice. So, where are you seeing the biggest real productivity gains from AI in investment research, and what does that actually look like in terms of how workflows are structured in practice?
So I do work with a lot of different AI applications and AI uses within the actual investment workflow. And I think one of the most exciting areas is around summarization. Summarization is a painful part of the workflow. It's very time consuming. It requires a lot of grunt work. And I think what we can do, particularly with great domain knowledge and keeping a human in the loop, is really being able to take, for example, within S&P Global, we have Pronto NLP that goes through and does a terrific summary of the earnings call and uses the actual investment framework to go through, look at the segments from the filing and assess, essentially what is being reported. And if the company states so in the actual filing, what the guidance looks like. And then what I'll do is have someone from my team go in and take a look at that, make sure it looks okay, and then listen carefully to the Q&A. So we can save a lot of time actually doing the more basic standard part of the process. And then I can leverage someone on my team to do the more analytical or creative part of it, where there's something maybe a little less standardized. So I think, that model can be applied to other areas too. If there are documents that we want to have searched or looked at, sell side reports, for example, things like our document viewer do a pretty good job of that. What that ultimately enables the user to do is save a lot of time and look at a lot more companies, and so they can get a lot more information. So for me, I really appreciate that, because I'm trying to look at the whole world and understand what's happening. And just this past earnings season, we had 4 companies reporting at the same time, these 4 hyperscalers, and in a very quick amount of time, I was able to pretty rapidly kind of go through and see, okay, what's happening in terms of the follow-up, being able to look at the transcripts and look at those Q&As and understand those summaries, much faster amount of time than I would have if I was going through each individual one manually. And so I think, that's just a simple example of where AI can come to life. Also, just search and being able to put capabilities together within a ChatGPT, just asking questions without having to scroll through loads of Google lists, I think is maybe another simple way that an investor can certainly do that.